And now let's look at Ole Miss's passing attack, which is we're going to get the other side of the football. And Ole Miss doesn't really pass the ball that much, not as much as you would think. Only 110th in the country, 42% pass rate. They're kind of decent at it though. 23rd in EPA per play, 16th in success rate. So when they do pass the ball, they're going to gash you for chunks down the field. And they've thrown 11 touchdowns, 5 picks. With Trinidad Chambliss at quarterback, which into a second, I think their passing game has got a little bit better. And you can see they've thrown for 357 on Arkansas, 307 on Tulane, threw for 400 on Georgia State, 253 on Washington State. The totals were kind of down for that game, but I think that was a look ahead spot of this game. So I'm willing to excuse some of the stats just a little bit. Now look at Trinidad Chambliss. Came over from Ferris State, 77.8 when he's kept clean, 81.8 PFF grade, and under pressure 22.2%, and also grades going under pressure 81.5, one touchdown, no pick. Doesn't really put the ball in harm's way, which is good. 60% completion. And now we look at the battle of the trench there. Ole Miss's offensive line versus Georgia's defensive line. You can see this where Ole Miss kind of lacks a little bit. Their run blocking grades have been horrible. 55.9, 63.8. A lot of below average and maybe average in the run blocking. And then for the pass blocking, 57.8. Jaden Williams, their tackle, is 71 grade PFF. So they're not good in the trenches on that. They're more. And Georgia's pass rush, they don't really grade out elite either. Chris Cole, 12.5% win rate, and Raylan Wilson, 10% win rate. But definitely not a matchup I would say that screams Georgia. I'd say at best it's probably a neutral matchup here. And now we at Georgia's passing defense stats. And they're 59th in opponent completion percentage, 125th in sack rate. They don't really get to the quarterback. 71st in opponent passing yards per game. And you can see that Tennessee gashed them for 371. Kentucky went for over 200 on them. Auburn don't really have a pass attack, so you got to really, kind of excuse that game. But I do think this is a matchup that could potentially favor Ole Miss a little bit. I could see them, going for at least about 250 yards on Georgia.